But that's what I'm saying. Like it's really not comparable. Like politicians lie about their agendas. Or they that's typically what they lie about. They don't lie about things that are just really easy to verify. Like who your parents were, where you grew up. I mean, it's like cuz for what, you know? For what? Most people in Congress, even if they're scumbag corrupt pieces of shit, they're rather accomplished. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. That's why George Santos had to lie. I mean, yeah, we've had Donald Trump. We've had plenty of people in Congress who really, haven't done that much or quote unquote, aren't qualified to be there. But most people in Congress are very fucking qualified to be there, even if they're horrendously corrupt individuals. And what do I mean by that? They have law degrees, they have PhDs, they got master's degrees, they work 20 years here, they work 10 years there. You see what I'm saying? Like they know they're not just, you see what I'm getting at. So it's not the same thing. You feel me? It's really not. So let's see what Kari Lake has to say. Because apparently, if elections were really fair, the GOP would control the House, the Senate, the White House, and all state governorships. So let's see what's up. Yes, 100%. Santos just lies because he can't tell the truth. Because again, you look at pretty much everybody that's up in Congress, you look at their resumes, the motherfuckers is stacked. Now that ain't got nothing to do with with their morality. It has nothing to do with them ethically. But nah, man, motherfuckers in Congress are highly accomplished people.
We've got a lot of great candidates in the Republican Party, unlike the Democrat Party. They roll people out like Katie Hobbs and Joe Biden, and they expect us to believe that that's what people want, and we know people that want that. Meanwhile, we've got great candidates on the Republican Party, and on our side, we've got so many great candidates that if our elections were really fair, I believe the ranks of Congress, the Senate, I think a White House, I think all the state governorships would be Republican if elections were fair.
Now, one of the funniest, I mean, everything about that's fucking stupid and funny, but one of the funniest things about that is, I think, when people say shit like that, because it's such a bold claim, right? I mean, it's such a bold claim for anybody to make, even if the Democratic Party was to say, if there was no election rigging, then we would never lose, because that completely obfuscates responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So that's ridiculous for anyone to say. And I'll get more into that too, because obviously we got the Electoral College and stuff like that and what have you. But I think, if it was fair, I think we would never lose, which is an oxymoron, because how can you never lose if something's fair in anything competitive? If you can't just never lose, like that's not a thing unless you take competition out. So there's that. And then there's the fact that, we have the Electoral College. We can point to George Bush losing the election. We can point to Donald Trump losing the popular vote the first time, the second time enough to where, the whole Electoral College situation. And then we can fucking, that aside, right? It completely obfuscates from things like policy and delivering on policy, because whether it's the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, Kari Lake, she ran on, I'm Donald Trump's biggest cheerleader, basically. Donald Trump won the 2020 election. She didn't run on anything rational or really improving people's lives. She trapped herself into a box she can't escape from. That's why she's still doing this bullshit about, it was rigged and I really won. Because she trapped herself in that box. You feel me? Like she did that to herself. People like Dr. Oz, who I've said he honestly should have just ran as a corporate centrist Democrat, because he would have fit the bill so much. Dr. Oz is not against abortion. He is not against. Dr. Oz is not personally, him actually, he does not strike me as someone who's like, yeah, the reversal of Roe v. Wade was a great idea. He doesn't know. So why did you even run as a fucking Republican? And you didn't need to do that, bro. You should have just ran as a centrist Democrat and just taking your corrupt money, talked a little bit about delivering on social policies, like been like, no, we're not going to cut Social Security, we're not going to cut Medicare, we're going to uphold the Affordable Care Act, and the reversal of Roe v. Wade was a bad thing. If he were to do that, I mean, come on, man. You feel me? But now he put himself in a corner and he's having a difficult time landing other contracts because he associated himself with such a toxic fucking brand and message. You see what I'm saying? So it's like y'all didn't even run real campaigns. Now, Kari Lake's campaign was much more crazy and nuts than Dr. Oz's. Kari Lake never could have ran as a Democrat ever. But again, you feel me? Dr. Oz, he was extremely successful before he stepped into the race. So it's like, why did you didn't even need to do this? You did who I mean, because again, look, I mean, I understand why people would want to be in office, but unless you really are looking to deliver on policy, who the fuck wants to be in government? Who really wants to do that unless you're there for a specific purpose? But if you just want to be there for clout, that's not the place to be, man. You know what I'm saying? So Kari Lake, before, she wasn't as nationally known as Dr. Oz, but she still was very successful. She's a good-looking middle-aged woman. She, was a face of television in Arizona. She need to do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. And then of course Democrats, you feel me, minus the Electoral College, if Democrats were to actually deliver on policy, actually improve upon the healthcare system continuously, not just like, because then people will believe that it's the Democrats' mission, and obviously, corruption and all that. So I know that, I know all that. But if the Democratic Party were to continuously pursue improving healthcare and to continuously pursue improving the education system and things along those lines and deliver upon it consistently, instead of, well, we passed some shit fucking 12 years ago, so we're going to uphold that, then y'all would never fucking lose elections, because you're going up against the ridiculous ass Republican Party. Not only would Democrats not lose, but the Republican Party wouldn't be so far to the right. But, corruption does what it does. Corruption gonna corrupt. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna do its thing, no matter what. No matter what.